internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
Take on it.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Well,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours of Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. This is most likely going to be a part 1 of a 2 video. I cannot believe this. We have been saying this for a very long time, and it is now happening. OpenEden introduces tokenized US Treasury bills onto the XRP ledger. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and smash that like button. Get ready to be completely mind blown. You know, I sit here and talk about $100 XRP, but little do you know, I'm being very, very conservative. And now they are actually opening up and they're being a little bit more aggressive. And who's they? OpenEden. You got to take a listen to one of the tweets that they replied to one of the XRP holders. It is significant. You got to see what they say here. But first, most importantly, listen to what Monica Long says here. She's the president at Ripple. This is monumental.
Yeah. So for our payments customers, we've supported various tokens in the payment flow. Of course, XRP as a bridge asset, and that position for XRP doesn't change in our view, especially as more and more types of assets get tokenized on blockchains. And there's a need for efficient liquidity between, you know, what will increasingly become a longer and longer tail of different types of assets. Even amongst the currencies, you know, there'll be different issuers of different currencies. And the more that transactions happen, especially right on ledger with the decentralized exchange, there'll be more and more demand for XRP as a bridge asset. That will continue. But for stablecoins, that, you know, there's different use cases where, for example, a beneficiary might be in a market where they would prefer to receive payment in a US dollar stablecoin than in their local currency. You know, these are markets with very volatile domestic currencies. So that's for like one example where we see more of a need for it. And I would say too that the other kind of broad use case we see is that there's more and more interest in the network of off-ramps that we've built over the years. So through our payments network, we can support off-ramping into 70 different countries and currencies. And so even for crypto native players that, you know, maybe they are dealing in DeFi, a DeFi application, there's this use case to off-ramp into a local market.
You see how she mentions, you know, XRP as that bridge asset, and more assets, as more assets get tokenized on blockchain, they're going to need more efficient liquidity. That's what they're going to be looking for. And now we're going to be tokenizing US Treasuries on the XRP ledger. Buckle up. That's all I got to say. And you see where she mentions at the end in regards to there is increasing interest in their network of off-ramp.
Odd use case we see is that there's more and more interest in the network of off-ramps that we've built over the years. So through our payments network, we can support off-ramping into 70 different countries and currencies.
Like, this is very important in regards to just having that network. Remember, I've been saying this for a very long time. It's the network that they have built since inception that is so important for this ecosystem. And that is why every single one of you guys are going to be rewarded very handsomely for your patience. A brand new financial infrastructure doesn't happen overnight. And for the individuals that sit there and say what's taking so long, it completely blows my mind. And some individuals say, why are you talking down those individuals? Why are you being rude? I'm not being rude. I'm being straight up honest. If you think this was going to happen overnight, you are an idiot. You could leave the channel. I'm not going to sit here and play a fake little role, okay? When I see you guys in person in the future, I'm not going to be a completely different person. It's the same person you're going to get on this channel. Let's continue on, because I mean, and the other reason why we're so aggressive on this channel is because everything that we have been saying is happening. We talked about this 2-3 weeks ago, July 6th. US Treasury and Ripple are preparing to integrate Ripple's XRP and RLUSD into the new financial system. And of course, I got clickbait and all that stuff, right? And then you go on to what actually says in their press release. Bringing tokenized T-bills to the XRP ledger is the next step in our exciting journey. Purchasers will be able to mint our T-bill tokens via stablecoins, including Ripple USD, when it launches later this year. And listen to what Open Eden says here, but let's zoom out a little. Remember, these are the individuals that are working with Ripple. Even as far back as 2016, the euro dollar market size was estimated at around 13.8 trillion. As of December 2023, there was 26.2 trillion of US Treasury securities outstanding, of which foreign holdings accounted for approximately 8.1 trillion, roughly 30%. So even if we hit 8 billion in TVL by the end of this year, double the best case scenario, we will have collectively only touched 0.1% of the total addressable market. That is insane. And then they go on to say $1 trillion doesn't even come close. Ladies and gentlemen, go and smash that like button. Like, it doesn't get any better than this. The accuracy on this channel is through the roof. There is no denying that, and I will always keep that reputation. Only facts. And now you have a company, Open Eden, that is working closely with Ripple, coming out here and just giving you trillions now. Remember when Archex came out with their article and they said they're going to tokenize $100 billion on the XRP ledger, and everyone's like, oh, only $100 billion? That's it? Like, you think they're going to come out and say we're going to tokenize $8 trillion or $10 trillion? Get a grip, just like the fundamental valuation framework that was published by Robbie Mitchnick and Susan Athley. But like, they're not going to come out here and say $1,000 XRP is going to happen. It's just, you need to put the puzzle pieces together. And one of the puzzle pieces, it's all done. This puzzle is done. Remember Jess Chang, and remember how I tell you that individuals joined Ripple, gained knowledge and experience within this fintech sector and this new infrastructure, and then they left Ripple to share their knowledge that they had retained at Ripple, and then they pretty much passed it on. And Jess Chang is the best example. She was the deputy general counsel at Ripple in 2015. She worked there for 2 years and 6 months, and then she went to the IMF as a counsel, and she was the lead expert in payments and digital assets. Like, hello, do you see this? And then she went to the Federal Reserve and she led their legal framework for payments and regulation for modernization. Like, do you see how this is? We have been saying this. I can't even speak anymore. And it's happening. And this is all given the experience that I've gained in the financial sector over 10 years. I know how these things operate. The transition from paper to digital. I was the first ones that were working on the projects. And to this date, it's still not complete. And now you're talking about the backbone of the financial infrastructure and you need everybody on board, right? Think about it. Rosie Rios, still on the board member of Ripple. Why did she join? This has been long in the making. Their agenda is planned years ahead. They don't just wing it. Some use cases, some implementations, some ideas, they wing it, but they have a broader agenda. Rosie Rios joined Ripple because she knew the broader agenda. She served as the 43rd treasurer of the United States and was the CEO of the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. She was the first lady over a century that had her signature. I believe it was $2 trillion. Correct me if I'm wrong. But that's a lot of money. And then you have individuals like Devraj, right? Devraj Radadan is the EVP of engineering at Ripple. And prior to Ripple, he served in a variety of executive roles at Amazon for 15 years. What is this delusional idiot doing here when he had a great job at Amazon and was there for 15 years? You need to, like, this is the next, gold mine right here. And Warren Jensen, don't forget about these. These are very important. Board member at Ripple. During his career, he served as the CFO of Amazon back in I believe it was 1999 when it was pretty much pennies. Also a CFO at Delta Airlines. Also a CFO at Electronic Arts, EA, all the video game developer, and NBC. And then you had individuals like Craig Phillips join Ripple. Craig brought more than 35 years of industry expertise to Ripple, having held leadership roles in Morgan Stanley and BlackRock. And most recently, when he had joined, Craig served as the counselor to Secretary of the Treasury, Stephen Munich, where he oversaw regulatory framework development for the financial system under Executive Order 13772. And that was signed by Mr. Trump. And look where we are today. Trump's going to be president. They're shilling Bitcoin. And I got some crazy videos that are coming up that are just going to completely blow your mind. I mean, XRP holders, when XRP flips Bitcoin, I mean, this is going to be truly remarkable. Buckle up. Everything that we have been saying, we have been laughed at for years. But that is okay. The fact that the price of XRP has remained where it has since inception is so bullish, words cannot describe it. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We will do a part 2 of how all this commingles in terms of the value drivers from, the US Treasuries coming onto the XRP ledger and then XRP being utilized as that bridge asset. Remember what Monica Long said. As more and more assets get tokenized on blockchains, there's going to be a need for more efficient liquidity.
As more and more types of assets get tokenized on blockchains, and there's a need for efficient liquidity between, what will increasingly become a longer and longer tail of different types of assets, there'll be more and more demand for XRP.
And if you guys recall the document that we read from the BIS Innovation Hub, I cannot pull it up right now, but off the top of my head, you guys remember, they said the most efficient liquidity provider, I don't remember off the top of my head exactly the wording, but you guys know, would be the most attractive one, right? That's what they're going to be using. So you be the judge. Everything that we have been saying on this channel has happened. I mean, even back in 2022, right? We talked about US Treasury to utilize XRP for ODL. This is September 27, 2022. So it's been long in the making. We were letting you know way ahead of time. And when, I talk about $10, $20, $30 extra, those are honestly completely BS in terms of, being so conservative, giving you like a really grounded perspective. And then whatever happens next, I mean, you guys just, like I said, sudden wealth syndrome is a real thing. So be careful.
With the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch.
I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.